Hey everyone, KeithBOT here with a guide on all the zombie abilities in Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. First up, we have the Foot Soldier zombie. The Foot Soldier's first ability is the ZPG, which fires a single rocket that can deal a massive 250 damage, has a decent blast radius, and has a 25-second cooldown. The alternative to this is the multi-rocket, which fires 4 rockets which deal 35 damage for a direct hit, or up to 14 damage for the splash damage. The multi-rocket has a 25-second cooldown. I prefer the ZPG because it will take out almost any plant with one hit, and deals more damage than landing every hit with the multi-rockets. The second ability of the Foot Soldier is the Rocket Jump, which launches the Foot Soldier flying into the air with one single bound, which takes 20 seconds to recharge. The alternative to this is the Rocket Leap, which blasts the Foot Soldier up but not as high, and in a much more forward motion, sacrificing height for distance. The Rocket Leap can be used 2 times before needing to take a 30-second cooldown to refill one use. I stick to the original Rocket Jump because I like getting high vantage points, as opposed to running into the objective as quickly as possible with the Foot Soldier. The third ability of the Foot Soldier is the Zombie Stink Cloud, which blocks visibility, can deal 2 damage a second, which will stay on the ground for 15 seconds, and it takes 30 seconds to cool down. The alternative to this is the Super Sting Cloud, which deals 5 damage a second, stays as a cloud for 10 seconds before dispersing, and has a 45-second cooldown. I use the Super Sting Cloud because the cooldown time doesn't really bother me that much, and I like to do more damage rather than blinding my enemies. The next zombie we'll look at is the Engineer. The Engineer's first ability is the Sonic Grenade, which can throw and stun enemies for 2 seconds, but it takes 30 seconds to cool down. The alternative to this is the Proximity Sonic Mine, which you will automatically plant at your feet no matter how high you aim. You can have 3 mines out at a time that will activate as soon as a plant comes within close proximity, but it takes 30 seconds to recharge 1 mine. I use the grenade because when I'm the Engineer, I don't tend to stay in one place, so the mines are pretty difficult for me to set up. The second ability of the Engineer is the Sambar Drone, which has 5 health and has 2 weapons. The first being its laser, which can deal 10 damage for a critical hit and 9 damage for a regular hit, but damage is dropped down over a distance. The laser can fire 6 times a second and will overheat after firing for 11 seconds and will need to take a 4-second cooldown if it overheats. The second weapon is the Cone Strike, which fires 7 cones, which take 3 seconds to explode after hitting the ground and can deal up to 75 damage each. The first Cone Strike takes 10 seconds to charge up and 30 seconds to charge up the second time. The Sambar Drone has 5 health. The alternative to this is the Rocket Drone, which uses 2 weapons, the first being its laser as well, which can fire 12 times a second and deal 6 damage. The laser will overheat after firing for 4 seconds and will need to take 4 seconds to cool down. The second weapon is a Cone Strike, which takes 3.5 seconds to charge up and fires a single cone, which can deal up to 25 damage. The Rocket Drone has 20 HP. I prefer to use the Sambar Drone because the Cone Strike deals much more damage, and the extra health on the Rocket Drone never seems to help me out that much. The third ability is the Jackhammer, which allows the Engineer to move at similar speeds to the pea shooter for 15 seconds before needing to take a 30-second cooldown. The alternative to this is the Turbo Jackhammer, which allows the Engineer to move even faster, but for only 6 seconds before needing to take a 30-second cooldown as well. I prefer the original Jackhammer because I usually don't need to outrun a plant or a zombie, and I want to stay on the Jackhammer longer so I can avoid being chomped and knock down as many plants as possible. The next zombie we'll look at is the Scientist zombie. The Scientist's first ability is the Sticky Explodey Ball, which can deal up to 50 damage, you can have 2 out at a time, and they take 30 seconds to recharge each. The alternative to this is the Mega Health Bomb, which is a giant ball that will instantaneously heal 50 HP to all allies near the explosion, which occurs 4 seconds after being tossed. The Mega Health Bomb needs 15 seconds to recharge after being thrown. I prefer the Health Bomb because I never really get that many vanquishes with the Sticky Explodey Bombs. The second ability of the Scientist is Warp, where you teleport a few meters directly in front of you. The Scientist can warp 2 times, but it takes 20 seconds to recharge each one. The alternative to this is Energy Warp, where the Scientist transforms into a mobile ball of energy that won't take any damage until it ends, which takes 10 seconds. Energy Warp takes 20 seconds to recharge after it has ended. I prefer the original Warp ability because I've become accustomed to it, but I've seen Energy Warp used quite effectively. The third ability of the Scientist is a Zombie Heal Station, which heals allies 5 HP a second and lasts 20 seconds, but needs 30 seconds to recharge. The alternative to this is the armored heal station, which heals at the same speed but has more health, and will spontaneously explode after 15 to 45 seconds according to the wiki, but I clocked it at 20 seconds 3 times in a row. The armored health station takes 30 seconds to recharge. I use the armored health station because usually when I use it, it doesn't tend to explode quicker than the other one, and it has more health. The last zombie we'll look at is the All-Star. The All-Star's first ability is the Impunt, which deals 150 damage, takes 1 second to punt, explodes 2 seconds after being punted, rolls across the ground, and takes 25 seconds to recharge. The alternative to this is the Long Bomb, which flies through the air, explodes 1.5 seconds after the button is pressed, deals 150 damage, and takes 20 seconds to recharge. Both can be used effectively everywhere, but the Long Bomb can be lobbed over walls. But it can be trickier in close quarters, so I tend to lean more towards the Long Bomb because of its shorter recharge. The second ability of the All-Star is Sprint Tackle, which dashes you forward, knocking back plants, dealing 75 damage to every plant that you made contact with. Sprint Charge takes 30 seconds to recharge. The alternative to this is Ultra Tackle, which deals 100 damage as opposed to 75, but it comes at a disadvantage because it takes 45 seconds to recharge. I use Sprint Tackle since 25 damage doesn't make much of a difference if you can land a few shots first, plus the faster recharge is well worth it in my opinion. The third ability is the Dummy Shield, which has a lot of health, and you can place 2 down at a time, but each take 20 seconds to recharge. The alternative to this is the Shield Decoy, which has a lot less health, but you can have 4 out instead. The shield decoys take 25 seconds to recharge each. I go with the shield decoys because I don't usually stay in one place, so having more shields is way better for me. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what's your favorite zombie ability. Mine's the Armor Health Station because it's a good improvement over the regular one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button KeithBOT's holding up so you don't miss out on any of my other PvZ Garden Warfare guides.